Hello and welcome to Ticker Tapes. Today we're taking a look at high growth stocks. The war in Ukraine and the imposition of tough sanctions on Russia by Western powers has unsettled investors and dented investor confidence. Meanwhile, energy prices are soaring as traders anticipate a total ban on oil and gas exports from Russia. Crude oil and gasoline prices have jumped sharply higher. WTI crude gained 28% over the last week, with gasoline prices up by just over 26%. We might have thought these moves would benefit EV manufacturers such as Tesla, and indeed, the stock was up by more than 3.5% last week. However, there may be a sting in the tail because Russia is not only one of the world's largest oil and gas exporters, it is also a producer of several strategically important commodities such as neon, a gas used to power the lasers that etch circuits onto silicone wafers to make the chips that the automotive industry relies on to control and power its vehicles. As much as 90% of the gas used to power the lasers used in chip lithography comes from Russia and Ukraine. Russia is also the world's largest producer of palladium, which is used in both conventional and hybrid vehicles. Somewhat ironically, Tesla is said to have received approval for a move into full production mode at its Berlin Gigafactory, which until now has been limited to test production only. War is not good for the prospects of travel and leisure stocks either, and Airbnb finished last week by around 8% lower. The company has suspended all of its operations in Russia and neighboring Belarus, which was used as a springboard in the invasion of Ukraine. What's more, the CEO has pledged to offer free accommodation to Ukrainians fleeing the conflict. Meanwhile, users of the online lodging marketplace have made bookings in Ukraine to ensure that some money gets through to those whose lives and livelihoods have been shattered by the conflict. Airbnb reports that almost $2 million has been paid to landlords and hosts within the country. Alongside Russian tanks, Russian hackers have been attacking Ukraine, launching a new piece of wiper software to try to corrupt the systems used by the country's government and financial institutions. The attacks and malware were detected by Microsoft's Threat Intelligence Center, which monitors the internet for abnormal or unusual behaviors. Teams based in Seattle notified the authorities in Ukraine about the threat, codenamed Foxblade, and within 3 hours, Microsoft's virus detection systems had been upgraded to recognize and block the Russian code, which had been designed to wipe or erase the data in infected systems. At the request of the White House, Microsoft also shared details of the Foxblade malware and its remedy with the Baltic states, Poland, and other European countries. High-growth software stocks were among the best performers in the NASDAQ 100 last week. One such was Splunk, which provides real-time systems monitoring and data collation technology to IT departments and business professionals. Splunk reported Q4 earnings last Wednesday, delivering EPS of 66 cents versus Wall Street forecasts of a 19-cent loss. Revenues also came in ahead of forecasts, and Splunk guided higher in its outlook for Q1 and for the balance of the new financial year. News also broke on Friday that private equity investors Hellman and Friedman had acquired a 7.5% stake in Splunk, worth around $1.4 billion, making them the company's largest shareholder. Splunk has recently appointed a new CEO, Gary Steele, who is seen as being PE-friendly, so we shouldn't be too surprised if Hellman and Friedman turn out to be interested in buying the business outright.